Coming this season on Rogue Life.
Hey there, it's me, Benny Bowers. So, the world has been pretty crazy since the last time you saw me. That girl that I kind of have a crush on friend-zoned me hard.
I mean, yeah, we sort of share a connection, but only in a way that you find between two good friends.
Sometimes storytellers need help just a bit.
I was detained and questioned by some secret government organization.
Mr. Bowers, we have this footage of you with Miss Blake and Mr. Peterson huddled together for an hour outside of the building.
The heroes are stuck, and they can't escape.
I infiltrated an apocalypse cult.
The master must be released to bring back his power and strength to the chosen people through the enlightened veil.
And I faced down a rogue AI.
I'm all about creating new and interesting stories and entertaining. If it's just a bunch of puppets but there's no one to watch the show, what's the point?
Going back, let's move forward.
Oh, and let's not forget getting caught up in a full-on Broadway musical.
With a day you set, knocking out, and when you're rocking a sock of a day you set, knocking up, those heroes will get away, and we'll surely save the day with a day you set, knocking out.
You'd think I'd get discouraged by all this, but nah, I'm just trying to live my best life.
Rogue Life Season 2 premieres March 25th, 2024 on your podcast app of choice.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. This is a Schedule 1 emergency. Wildland flight. This is not a test. Wildland flight. All residents act now. Report to your nearest evacuation site. This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test. This is a Schedule 1 emergency. Wildland flight. This is not a test. Wildland flight. All residents act now. Report to your nearest evacuation site.
Okay, Lars. Tell us everything from the start. Everything you can remember. Just hold on to the LUDEN and concentrate. It'll allow us all to see and experience your thoughts and memories.
There are gaps. Things I'm not sure of. Things I had to piece together for myself.
That's fine. Your friends will be doing the same. The LUDEN should make sense of that. Best it can anyway. Don't resist it. We need to know exactly what happened.
I have nothing to hide, sir. But using this device, esoterics just... they aren't clear-cut. They muddy everything up. What is that sound?
That just lets us know the LUDEN is working. Please, relax.
Deep in the night is where the city shows its true self. Where the veneer of civility, or what is left of it, washes away with the sun. This is where people make their moves, unmasked by the pretensions worn to screen them from the daylight. My people need little sleep. If you call the Dwam asleep at all. And I find its embrace less than restful when I'm prevented from completing my work. Since the constant churn they now subject me to, my Dwam provides neither clarity nor comfort. The clearest devotions of the city are found in the shadows of dread, where most fear to tread. The back streets, the narrows, the underground labyrinths, graves of the old world from which the capital rises. Desperation, hope, opportunity, and fear fill the air of such places, and people live most honestly, most brutally, and for the shortest of times. It is in the air of brutal honesty that the mind thinks most plainly, most openly. Whilst most retreat from these places, in these hours, seeking soft comfort, tranquility, anesthesia, others choose to face it, but many have no choice at all. My mind must remain clear. I don't come here to revel in misery or feed a depraved impulse. It is here where hope burns brightest, even if it is too often extinguished quickly. But mostly, I come for her. She graces only these places and only the night. She turns away from the mimicry and theatrics of the day. I don't know when she first came to this place, or what misfortune forced her to take the Narrows for home. Her grace makes the squalor seem foreign and alien, but her movements betray a familiarity with it. Not familiarity with the filth and grime of the city's underbelly, but familiarity with the darkness, with threat. Few see her as she stalks the moonless night, and those who do most regret it. She enters each place quietly and takes what she needs. She shows little cruelty, and she knows I am watching. She always knows. 16 hands tall, dark, soft skin, the warmest and deepest shade of purple. Long raven hair to her waist. Her eyes, unlike any I've seen. Deep, inky black iris, which swallow all, leaving not a trace of the white, as if her soul exceeds the bounds of the windows which dare to frame it.
Here you are again, guardsman. Do you have something to say to me tonight?
Do I have something to say? No words emerge.
Have you eaten at all?
I have not. Not all day. But I don't tell her.
Still silent, I see. You have not arrested me. So, I take it that I am still free. I'm going to take what I saw back to my cutaway. I think you must know where it is by now.
She is gone as quickly as she came. I won't follow. This was enough. To see her. To be seen in the darkness. Clarity returns.
What the bloody hell is all this? Is Lars going to narrate this all now?
Looks like he's yielded to the device. Don't distract him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the row is proud to present, all the way from Versailles, your entertainment for the evening, the insatiable duo, Diamond and Carl.
You're so cold. And why so sad? You haven't been wandering around there in the chill, have you? It's so dark out there tonight. Why don't you let me warm you up? It's not right to see sad faces or cold bodies at the row. Let me look.
No! Get off me!
Get off her! I've got him! I've got Rada! Use your blood! What the fuck?
I don't care what anyone says about the Crown. We'd be better off with them in charge than those UWF fanatics.
That's Wei Guan. He talks a lot and thinks people like to listen. He holds rank so people don't often tell him otherwise. They just stop talking and wait for him to run out of steam. He doesn't.
Better the devil you know, in my opinion. The boss would be best to pin his flag to the mast now. I don't know what he's waiting for.
I suppose his musings will help you understand what is going on in the city. I'll leave you to listen. It doesn't get any more insightful with the retelling.
Everyone has gone home to lick their wounds except for us, right? The revolutionaries took a whipping to push the soldiers out, and the land and marine forces won't be in any state to counterattack. The only people in any fit state to run things around here are our lot, and maybe the Aurelian regiment. Varney should either take power for himself in the name of peace, or stay loyal to the crown. It's as simple as that, really. That big scary ship doesn't change anything. It's a simple matter of principle. Fucking armchair general doesn't know a thing about—
Shut up, Sam, and listen. This is confusing enough without your interruptions.
Do you get the general picture? There, trouble in the city this last year. Rebels got sick of the crown and the guilds and rattled some cages. The crown and the gentry overreacted, and it all got out of hand. The city guard managed to stay out of it, for the most part, and watch them kick each other around. Because of that, the guard is the only form of government left, and everyone is confused about who we answer to. The guard commander is the head of the governing council, but no one really knows what's going on there. The city has been in a peaceful holding pattern for months now, with the royals trapped in the citadel, and the UWF tied up, keeping them in. The Aurelian Regiment Mercenary Brigade, based in the city, stayed neutral, and leached off the city, extorting the people of the Aventine in a protection racket. No better than the families in Little Loiren. The whole thing is a mess. And anyone with sense thanks the silent gods we are in the safe zone. If this had gone down anywhere else, we'd be dead already. I try not to think about what is happening near the boundary, or in Ansa. What? The ship. Everyone calls it the Bark. It's big and scary, and no one knows where it came from. It turns up and causes trouble later on. Don't get distracted by that. That's someone else's story.
Lars, what are you doing over there staring at us? You talking to yourself again?
I guess that's my cue to join the scene. Just narrating my thoughts into the void.
What the fuck are you talking about, you weird prick? Shouldn't you be rummaging around in people's heads or talking to the dead or something? Get the fuck out of our break room. You've got a new case, and your weird vibes are making the place uncomfortable.
Ah, that will probably need a little context too. I am what the city guard refer to as a Steg. I investigate the crimes that the rank and file skinners can't. Which is any crime which doesn't beat them over the head and confess in triplicate. Weiguan and the others find my methods uncomfortable. And I get it. No one likes the idea of another person accessing their innermost thoughts or interfering with their passage into other worlds. I can't do either of those things, but it isn't worth the effort and time to explain it again. I haven't closed the Coalition of Printers burglary case. There are still lines of inquiry.
It took too long. It's coming up to Midwinter Festival and people are out sick. The jobs list is only growing. The cop job's been passed to another department.
Again? It takes more than a few days to follow.
You're the only fucking Steg with an assisting officer. Close them faster or lose them. Lucca's already at the scene. The notes are at your desk. Someone painted the walls of the row of rigid spears with a security guard. Traumatised the clientele. Now piss off, you creepy prick.
They weren't kidding. Someone turned this kid inside out and redecorated the place with his guts. A mess.
Boss, I've canvassed the local area. There aren't many who will open up past the last light, and I've interviewed witnesses, but they're all mutes. I did collect some samples, though. You'll be wanting to speak to the deceased?
Sorry. I should probably introduce Lucca. She still calls me boss, which I find almost as irritating as people saying that I rescued her from the day watch. Sure, she hasn't got a caster's bone in her body and has never had any schooling in esoterics, but that hardly gets in the way. Wits, attention to detail, and organisation carry you most of the way, but most importantly, I think I can trust her. Not something I say about the rest of the guard. Casting is just for show, and it's rarely as helpful as people think. Mostly just muddies the water. Not that being a caster matters now. With all the LUDENs coming in from Shimmy, every Tom, Dick and Harry will be able to cast at least as well as I can, as soon as they have the coin.
Boss?
No rush for that, Lucca. This is an obvious Velo attack. No need to upset anyone by waking the dead. Wait until we've cleared out the stragglers. So, 4 belligerents, maybe a 5th, though the latter was just a victim. Fight broke out at the bar, security intervened and were attacked from behind. Some sort of elemental cast, around 10 paces. Blew straight through this young man and a section of the interior wall. The assailants made their escape north through the mile. I can't see ahead. Is it lying around somewhere? We can't do much without that.
Did you just work all that out just by glancing at the scene?
No, Constable Lucca. It may surprise you to learn that when you write an incident report, I take the time to read it before I show up. I appreciate that might be a novelty for you coming from the day watch.
Right. Yeah, boss. Not used to people actually reading my notes yet.
There are only 12 registered Velo in the city, and not many of those with enough money or time to spend in this place. About that head, Lucca.
I've got it in the bag, boss. Do all Velo join the register?
Doubt it. Most of them do. They're show-offs, and then there are all the tax breaks.
So our killer might be an unknown?
Possible. But let's work with what we know first.
Anand's been pressing to get us all out of here. He's told them all to keep quiet by the looks. No one is saying a thing. They just want everything cleaned up and everyone back to business. Do you need the scene holding, boss?
No. Get it cleaned up. Don't hand over the body to the next of kin yet. They get funny about wanting the head. So where are our mutes?
Just through the door behind the bar. The female Nixon is Leda. She's been working here a while. She's more than a bit shook up by the whole thing. The male Tusker is the other security guard, Ash. He's putting on a front and puffing up his chest. He's only been here a week. I don't think he knew anyone involved, except for the deceased. I think they were the same clan.
And who are you supposed to be? I ain't got anything more to say to you than I told the other Skinner. They kill Rada, I'm not letting anyone get them but me.
18 hands tall, broad-shouldered, muscular, and well-fed demi-Uruk,
filed tusks, so likely from the city. Greyish skin and bald waxed head, his clan likely came from Turk. Accent seems a Meduan, but that doesn't mean much these days.
The hell are you staring at? Say something, creep.
If you have nothing to say to me, you are free to leave.
I'm gone. Leda, you gonna be okay with this freak?
I'll be fine.
Shout if you need me.
Before you go, if you plan to seek revenge...
Did two graves? I know.
I wouldn't worry about that. You are dealing with a Velocaster. They will be able to fit your remains into an ashtray, I'm sure. If you plan to seek revenge, leave any pertinent information about the investigation in an envelope behind the bar, please. It'll save us a lot of messing around when you die.
Prick.
So, Leda, how are you doing?
Fine.
Height, 15 hands, early maturity, half Nix, West Vashian descent, likely. Maybe a child of the forest. Long dark black hair, straightened, high cheekbones and pointed ears. Olive skin, pallid and waxy complexion. The colour of her eyes have paled. Not the deep black or brown of our people, but cloudy. As if a mist descended on a dusky ocean. That bad? A girl like this would be no stranger to violence, even this sort. The row is upmarket, but no one ever starts here. They find their way here by luck, hook or by crook. She isn't just shaken. Something is wrong. I know things got ugly out there, and maybe you don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to make you, but do you know who I am?
Yes. Yes.
Do you know what I do?
Yes.
If you prefer, I can access your memories, see what happened to you. Some people tell me it helps. With grief. I'll need you to sign your consent. Yeah, I don't think... That's okay. I'm going to check you over for any signs of esoteric interference or arcane overreach, okay? It's not invasive, and you won't feel a thing. All I will do is use this chalk to draw some symbols on the ground. I don't need to touch you or come near you. So long as you are within 12 paces, I'll be able to sense it. I'm going to say some words you won't understand. They are just incantations for the cast. Please don't interrupt me or distract me whilst I work.
Okay.
Driat Avra. Driat Avra. Driat Avra.
Okay.
Driat Avra. Driat Avra. Driat Avra. Driat Avra. I can feel the residual elemental energy from the attack seeping in from the bar. They must have been a very powerful caster for the arcana to linger this long. But there is something else coming from her. Something unfamiliar. It doesn't feel arcane in nature. It feels wrong somehow? Hollow? Incomplete? Decaying? Like rot in hollowed out oak. How do you feel?
I don't feel anything.
Do you feel sick? Tired?
My friend just exploded in front of me. Yes, I feel sick and tired.
Of course. I can't sense any interference. Why don't you go and get yourself seen by a healer and get some rest? I'll leave you my card. If you need to speak to me, just read this word here. It'll send me a message. You don't even need to speak out loud.
Thanks.
Sure. Something is off. But something is always off. Especially these days. Between the guilds, the families, the UWF, Crown. Whoever turned this young Uruk inside out, there's little good reason to be seen talking to a Steg.
Chances are I'd never see the end of this story anyway. It's been a long time since investigations worked that way in this city.
No. Don't get up. You're not strong yet.
Skull. Thank the gods. What in the hell's happened? I feel like some used me to chop down a blighted pine.
We don't go out, and we reach. Once we get to Sademedu, collect from Crown, we collect from the others too. We'll send to there some family if we know.
Did anyone else make it?
Nah, just we.
Shit.
It seems on every time. Jill, Capcom take it prize. No need for sorrow. We all know.
We were 10. 22 on the way in.
This time, tall be higher.
Lottie.
Yes, Jill.
Did you...
Rest now. We only knew news. Still long road to Emedu.